Cleopatra VII Philopator, the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt, is remembered not only for her dramatic life and relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, but also for her political brilliance, intelligence, and leadership. Here's a detailed summary of why Cleopatra was a great leader. Intelligent and highly educated, Cleopatra was one of the most intellectually gifted rulers of her time. She was multilingual, reportedly fluent in at least 9 languages, including Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, which allowed her to communicate directly with her people and foreign dignitaries. She was also deeply educated in philosophy, science, mathematics, medicine, and astronomy, which earned her respect from scholars and rulers alike. First Ptolemaic ruler to embrace Egyptian culture, most of the Ptolemies, who were of Macedonian Greek descent, ruled Egypt without even speaking the Egyptian language. Cleopatra broke that tradition. She learned Egyptian and presented herself as the reincarnation of Isis, a beloved Egyptian goddess, which strengthened her legitimacy and connected her to native Egyptian traditions. This made her immensely popular among her people. Skilled diplomat and politician, Cleopatra navigated the extremely dangerous and shifting political landscape of the late Roman Republic with masterful diplomacy. She allied with Julius Caesar, which helped her regain her throne after being ousted by her brother. After Caesar's assassination, she formed a powerful political and military alliance with Mark Antony, one of Rome's most influential generals. She used these alliances not just for protection, but also to ensure Egypt remained independent and influential amid Roman expansion. Strong economic and domestic policies. Cleopatra stabilized Egypt's economy during a time of great hardship and famine. She reformed the tax system to make it more efficient, encouraged agriculture and trade, opening Egyptian markets to Roman and Eastern goods. Personally inspected crops and ports, showing her dedication to economic prosperity. Patron of the arts and sciences. Cleopatra supported the famed Library of Alexandria and attracted scholars and scientists to her court. Under her rule, Egypt remained a hub of learning, culture, and intellectual achievement. Military leader and strategic thinker. While not a general herself, Cleopatra took an active role in military decisions. She supported Antony with ships and money during his campaigns. She commanded a fleet during the Battle of Actium, 31 BCE, a crucial naval conflict, though it ended in defeat. Even in the face of overwhelming Roman power, she remained defiant and chose death over submission, which many have seen as a final act of sovereignty. Symbol of female power. Cleopatra ruled as a woman in a male-dominated world and did so with authority, charisma, and independence. She co-ruled with her younger brothers, as per Egyptian tradition, but made sure she held the real power behind the throne. Her leadership challenged gender norms in both Egypt and Rome. Cleopatra was not just a queen known for her beauty or her famous lovers. She was a brilliant, bold, and capable leader who preserved Egypt's independence for as long as possible in a collapsing world. Her reign is a testament to her intellect, political savvy, cultural insight, and leadership strength, making her one of the greatest female rulers in history. Elizabeth I of England, 1533 to 1603, the last monarch of the Tudor dynasty, is widely regarded as one of the greatest leaders in British history. Here's a brief but detailed summary of why she was a great leader. Strong and independent ruler. Elizabeth ruled alone for 44 years, 1558 to 1603, in an era dominated by men. She chose not to marry, famously calling herself the Virgin Queen, and maintained full control of her kingdom without a king beside her, an extraordinary feat in the 16th century. Political wisdom and diplomacy. Elizabeth was a master of political balance. She avoided costly wars through careful diplomacy, played European powers like Spain and France against each other to maintain England's independence, used her image and speeches to inspire loyalty and unify the country. Religious tolerance and stability. After years of bloody religious conflict under her predecessors, Elizabeth established the Elizabethan religious settlement, which created the Church of England and brought relative peace between Catholics and Protestants. She enforced loyalty to the crown over strict religious conformity. Military success and national defense. Elizabeth oversaw the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588, a major military victory that saved England from invasion by Catholic Spain. Her leadership and motivational speech to her troops at Tilbury are iconic moments of national pride. Patron of the arts and the Golden Age. Under her reign, England entered a cultural golden age. She supported writers like William Shakespeare and Christopher Marlowe, promoted exploration and the expansion of English influence overseas, e.g., Sir Francis Drake, Sir Walter Raleigh. Her court became a center of Renaissance learning, music, and literature. Symbol of unity and national identity. Elizabeth became a powerful symbol of English identity, inspiring fierce loyalty. Her ability to maintain authority while being both revered and feared helped forge the sense of England as a unified nation-state. Elizabeth I was a brilliant, shrewd, and charismatic ruler. She preserved England's sovereignty, brought internal peace, led her country to military and cultural glory, and left a legacy of strong, visionary leadership, earning her place as one of the greatest monarchs in world history. Eleanor of Aquitaine, circa 1122 to 1204, was one of the most powerful and influential women of the Middle Ages. As both Queen of France and later Queen of England, she played a major political, cultural, and dynastic role in European history. Here's a detailed summary of why Eleanor of Aquitaine was a great leader. 1. Ruler of a vast and wealthy territory. Eleanor inherited the Duchy of Aquitaine at the age of 15, making her the most sought-after heiress in Europe. Aquitaine was one of the largest and richest provinces in France, and Eleanor governed it independently at various points in her life. She managed its courts, collected revenues, and administered justice. Maintained control over her duchy even while married to two kings, a rare display of female authority at the time. 2. Political power through two major thrones. Eleanor was Queen of France, 1137 to 1152, through marriage to Louis VII, and later Queen of England, 1154 to 1189, through marriage to Henry II. Through these unions, she expanded her influence across two of Europe's most powerful kingdoms. Her children with Henry II became major rulers themselves, including Richard the Lionheart and King John, shaping the future of England and Europe. 3. Strong-willed and independent. Eleanor was exceptionally independent in an era when women were expected to be passive. She participated in the Second Crusade, 1147 to 1149, accompanying Louis VII to the Holy Land, unheard of for a queen. She divorced Louis VII, a rare act for a queen, especially against the king's wishes. She later led a rebellion against Henry II in support of her son's rights to rule. Though imprisoned for over 15 years, she never lost her political relevance or influence. 4. Influential regent and advisor. After Henry II's death, Eleanor acted as regent for her son Richard I when he went on the Third Crusade. She governed England in his absence, managed finances, quelled rebellions, and maintained royal authority. She also negotiated Richard's release after he was captured in Germany, showcasing her diplomatic skills and political determination. 5. Patron of culture and the arts. Eleanor was a major force behind the courtly love tradition, promoting literature, music, and chivalric ideals. Her court at Poitiers became a center of medieval culture, attracting poets, troubadours, and thinkers. She influenced the rise of Romantic literature, shaping the ideals of knighthood and courtship that defined the High Middle Ages. 6. Diplomatic and dynastic legacy. Eleanor arranged marriages and political alliances across Europe. She traveled extensively into her 80s, personally overseeing political matters. Through her children and grandchildren, she became the matriarch of European royalty, earning her the nickname Grandmother of Europe. Conclusion: Eleanor of Aquitaine was a visionary, fearless, and remarkably capable leader. In a male-dominated era, she wielded immense power, navigated dangerous political landscapes, shaped two great kingdoms, and left a legacy of strong female leadership, cultural richness, and dynastic continuity. She stands as one of the most extraordinary women of the medieval world. Hatshepsut, circa 1507 to 1458 BCE, was one of ancient Egypt's greatest pharaohs, and one of the few women to rule as king. Here's a brief summary of why she was a great leader. 1. First great female pharaoh. Hatshepsut boldly declared herself pharaoh in a male-dominated role, even wearing traditional male regalia like the false beard to assert her authority. She reigned successfully for over 20 years, showing exceptional political skill. 2. Brought peace and prosperity. Unlike many pharaohs focused on war, Hatshepsut prioritized peace, trade, and economic growth. Her reign was marked by stability and wealth, benefiting ordinary Egyptians. 3. Successful trade expeditions. She famously reopened trade routes, most notably the expedition to the land of Punt, which brought back gold, incense, exotic animals, and valuable goods, greatly enriching Egypt. 4. Impressive builder and patron of the arts. Hatshepsut launched massive building projects, including the magnificent Temple of Deir el-Bahari at Luxor, which still stands as one of ancient Egypt's greatest architectural achievements. 5. Maintained legitimacy and authority. She strengthened her claim to the throne by linking herself to divine birth and by co-ruling with Thutmose III early on. Her reign was stable and respected by the elite. Conclusion: Hatshepsut was a visionary and effective ruler who broke gender norms, expanded Egypt's wealth through diplomacy and trade, and left a legacy of peace, prosperity, and monumental architecture. She proved that a woman could rule Egypt as capably as any man. Catherine the Great was a great leader because she transformed Russia into a major European power during her reign, 1762 to 1796. She expanded Russian territory through successful wars and diplomacy, modernized the government by promoting reforms based on Enlightenment ideas, and supported education, the arts, and culture. Catherine also strengthened the economy and improved administration while maintaining strong control over the nobility. Her leadership helped Russia emerge as a vibrant, influential empire on the world stage. Liliuokalani was a great leader because she was the last reigning queen of Hawaii who fiercely defended her people's sovereignty and culture during a time of foreign pressure. She worked to restore political power to native Hawaiians and resisted the growing influence of American business interests and settlers. Despite being overthrown, she remained a symbol of Hawaiian identity and resilience, advocating peacefully for her people's rights and preserving their heritage. Her leadership is remembered for courage, dignity, and dedication to her nation.